G'day, it's Oscar, and this is subscriber-only content. Thank you for subscribing. As a thank you for your commitment and taking that extra step and selecting subscribe, as well as based on our audience survey and research, I'm listening to you. This is called Answer My Questions. If you have a question on listening in the workplace that you would love to have answered, email podcast@oscartrimboli.com. That's podcast@oscartrimboli.com. Bill says, listening to the podcast, one of the things that I was really struck by is your observation that we speak at a relatively low speed. You said something like 130 words per minute, yet we're able to think 9 times faster. Our minds are thinking thoughts all the time while we're listening. And I was wondering, when a conversation is bouncing around and there's lots of ideas that you want to share, Oscar, can you provide some kind of insight into when I should share the ideas and when I should block the ideas? Don't block them would be the number one thing I would say. If the thought's coming in, you can signpost it and say it out loud. I've got a great idea. I'd love to come back to it in a sec. Or I just got a great idea. Might take us in a completely different direction. Hey, I've got a great idea. Something that's quite funny that happened a couple of years ago. For you, you're going to make a judgment about when to say them out aloud versus when to kind of put them in a bookshelf in your own mind to come back to the conversation. I think for a lot of us, the frustration, though, is we put it in a bookshelf in our mind, and then when we want to come to it, it's gone. In a lot of that conversation, idea air, and the counterparty will come back to you and go, yeah, I'd love to play with that a little bit more. I think our mind becomes fuller when we don't expose those ideas that excite you, but you're not sure if they're going to excite the other person. So give them oxygen, let them come out, but make them brief as opposed to going into a full dialogue. What's your question? I'd love to know. Let me know. Send me an email, podcast@oscartrimboli.com. That's podcast@oscartrimboli.com for any questions you have on listening in the workplace. Thanks for listening.